when we have some areas in our lives where we feel that we're not enough, and we all have the I don't there is no human being. Well, I shouldn't say there's no human being. There probably are a select number of human beings that do not have some level of "I'm not enough" story. And quite frankly, they're probably pathological, right? But "I'm not enough" is a very challenging story that we as consultants have. That when we bring it into our work can be challenging, right? Because if we sense that we're not being valued by a client in one way, shape, or form, there are these triggers, right? We're all sensitive to triggers, whatever our trigger is to that "I'm not enough" story, right? I sense that sometimes as it relates to, I pride myself in being very knowledgeable about our business and industry. And part of that is tied to wanting to have a mastery level understanding of what I do. And part of wanting to have a mastery level conversation or discussion around what I do relates to childhood "I'm not enough" stories, because I grew up with someone who was brilliant. I grew up with someone who was brilliant, and who there was no winning a conversation because the man was brilliant. And when the man is brilliant and you can't win a a debate, a conversation, whatever, right? That can create an "I'm not enough" story. I'm not like that level of smart, that then you carry into what you do in your life. And then so what can happen is if I'm in a conversation with someone who thinks that they know substantially more about real estate than I do, there have been times when and what I've learned, that is a trigger I've had to do work to undo that. I've had to do across all of the knowledge that I have, is that when I'm having an interaction with someone who has a comparable amount of knowledge about business, industry, whatever, is to have a shift into collaboration and not into conflict, right? If there's a difference of opinion, not to shift my energy into collaboration, to get curious. "Oh, that's interesting. You had that experience. Tell me more about that." So that then what I can do is I can actually shift into, hey, this conversation will allow me to become more masterful, rather than this person is telling me I'm not enough, right? Because then what happens is, if I go into a consultation with a client and that client starts to say, "Well, I don't understand what you do in one way, shape, or form," or "I don't think you should be paid," or "I'm perceiving that," then what I can do is I can get curious and realize that I haven't yet explained my value well enough. I haven't yet discussed what they need, rather than that they're just they're punching me. So the environment that we're in, and this is a statement that's beyond even the specific conversation that we're in. We are in an environment today where conversations are linked to points scored, right? When we're on the news, it's points. When we watch the news, it's points scored. It's when we watch debates, it's points scored against the opponent, against the other side. And that is not good modeling for how to have healthy and winning conversations. So in order to have healthy, winning conversations, we need to get curious. We need to, hey, right? And and then that will set the table.